So you logged into Genshin yesterday and saw the new event, or you saw my video yesterday that kind of talked about the event. Either way, you did the event and you got the 4-star event polearm called Dialogues of the Desert Sages, henceforth known as the Magical Girl polearm, or the Magical Girl weapon, or the Magical Girl spear, whatever we want to call it, right? It's Magical Girl. It looks great on Chevy. Chevy is a certified Magical Girl now. So in this video, we're going to look at what this weapon does, its stats, and who it can be good for. So as you can see, I do have it equipped to Chevy, who I believe will be the best character, current character, for this weapon. So it does get up HP percent, which Chevy wants, and its passive, when the wielder performs healing, restores 10 energy. This is at R2, at R1 it was 8 energy, and at R5 it should be 16. This effect can be triggered once every 10 seconds and can occur even when the character is not on the field. That means that we can use Chevy's skill, swap to another character, maybe like Benny, who we want to give the energy to that her skill produces. If we heal Benny, that means that Chevy will also receive energy from this weapon's passive. So this is going to be very, very good, especially in the team that I have my Chevy in, which is a Raiden hyper carry, because we want to be using Chevy's bursts as much as possible to build up Raiden's resolve stacks. So now we're going to go see this weapon in effect. I'm going to let them take some damage. Then I'm going to use Chevy's skill. And what you're going to see is if we look right here at her burst indicator, whether her burst is ready or not, we are going to see after she uses her skill, the energy particles are going to come to her and it is going to shoot up. Then after a second, it's going to shoot up again. It's going to have a little bit more. That is going to be the passive from this weapon. That is going to be the triggering effect. So if we use Chevy's skill, swap to Raiden and let Raiden get healed, then it is still going to give the energy, the 10 energy to Chevy, even though she's off the field. So this is going to be phenomenal for giving extra energy to the character that is doing the healing, not receiving the healing, doing the healing, that has the weapon equipped. That just means that I will be able to use Chevy's skill and pass around her energy to other characters that may need it more, but Chevy can still get energy. So this is going to be a phenomenal weapon. So now we're going to talk about why this is such a good weapon for Chevy, other than its passive, other than the fact that she can reliably trigger the passive. Also, the passive is every 10 seconds. Chevy's skill cooldown is around 10 seconds. It's a little bit more than 10 seconds. So it's perfect. She can always trigger this passive. So Chevy also wants the HP percent because of how Chevy's passive skill works. Your whole party will get an attack buff based on her HP, max HP, up to 40,000 HP. Now, my Chevy does have 41,000 HP, and this weapon is only at level 70, and Chevy is only at level 80, which means it's going to be very, very easy for me to keep that 40k HP and start building Chevy a little differently so she can do more damage, kind of like what I did with my Benny originally. So now that we have talked about why this weapon is good for Chevy and why I think Chevy is going to be the best current character for this weapon, let's talk about some other characters that can use this weapon. So first off, and probably the second best character for this weapon, is going to be Magical Girl Yao Yao. Now, this is specifically going to be a healer build Yao Yao, where you are wanting her to heal as much as possible. So the way that Yao Yao works is whenever you throw out Yugui, which is her pet rabbit, who you cannot see here, she is going to heal your character on field if they are below 70% of their max HP. Now, when Yao Yao uses her burst, she heals the whole team. So whenever she uses her burst, she will immediately be able to trigger the effect and start getting energy back to then just have her burst ready again. And she applies a ton of Dendro during her burst. So is going to be very, very good if you are running heal burst Yao Yao. And Yao Yao is just a magical girl. We all know that. Next is going to be Magical Girl Mika. Now, Mika can use this weapon because his burst healing scales off of HP. While this doesn't help him with his buffing or personal damage, this is going to help him heal more. Now, Mika is Mika, so we don't really use Mika a lot unless you got C6 for Eula, but this can be a good weapon for him if you don't want to give him like Rightful Reward or Black Tassel. Now, something that you're going to notice is common through all of these is that all of their healing is based on HP. That is going to be the common factor between these three that can best use this weapon. Now we're going to talk about two more characters that can use this weapon. One in an interesting way that also kind of has like a meme build that might be kind of funny to do. And then the last one you may not be expecting to be on this list. So next is going to be Magical Girl Hu Tao. Now, Hu Tao does scale off of HP, so she can really appreciate the HP that this weapon gives. And if you're running her with like Crimson, she can trigger the passive of this weapon because whenever she uses her skill, she hurts herself. And whenever she uses her burst, she heals herself. So you can use this weapon to have her burst more readily available because this will just give her more energy. You can have less energy recharge on Hu Tao and be able to use your burst more frequently. So this could be a very, very good free-to-play option for Hu Tao if you don't want to give her Rightful Reward or Black Tassel. So the meme build for Magical Girl Hu Tao is going to be with Shimenawa. Now, if you read the 4-piece of Shimenawa, you lose energy to gain damage. And it takes 15 energy. This weapon will give 16 energy. So theoretically, you could do her burst, get the healing back up, then use her skill and be regenerating energy to be above the energy to then trigger the Shimenawa effect. Now, the problem with that is that you lose a lot of damage by not using her skill first. But if you use her skill first, then you can't accurately trigger the passive. You could if you timed it right and had enough energy recharge. That's why I'm saying it's a meme build. If you could get it correct, this could be a phenomenal weapon for Hu Tao that's free to play. If you didn't get it correct, it would just be really, really awkward to be using this with Shimenawa. Now, finally, we're going to look at Magical Girl Zhongli C6. So at C6, Magical Girl Zhongli is going to be able to heal because some of the damage taken by his shield is going to transfer into healing. So if you were to use a character with like Farina, right? Because Farina is going to steal her little minions are bloodthirsty and they're going to steal HP from all your characters. If you give a shield from Zhongli to your character that has their HP lowered, then whenever an enemy hits the shield, some of that gets turned into HP, causing a healing effect, giving Zhongli energy. Zhongli can appreciate the HP because his shield is based off of HP, so you can have a certified C6 Magical Girl Zhongli. Now, if you do have C6 Zhongli, I'm going to assume that you have a better weapon than a 4-star event weapon, but if for some weird, crazy reason you do not, C6 Magical Girl Zhongli is going to be amazing, and you should totally give it a try and let me know how it goes. That is going to be it for this video. If you do have any questions, do be sure to leave it down in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.